Often we'll want to see exactly how visitors are interacting with a very specific page of content on your site and what the click paths are through the site. For this, we have a set of reports found on the content detail page focused on just that one page. Let's take a look down the content report, top content, and let's say that we want to take a look at the sample size estimation tool. So I click to drill down into that, and what we see here is what we call the content detail page. All of the content on this, all the metrics around here are focused only on visitors who came to this particular page. As we can see, this tool went live somewhere around here. There were no visits prior to then, and then we get all of the data after that point. We can see the number of page views, unique page views, time on page, bounce rate, percent exit, all the metrics that we want to see associated with just this page. But the valuable part of this page is when we come down here into the dropdown. When we move past the content detail onto things like the navigation summary. In the navigation summary, we can see 3 sets of page clicks. We can see our page here in the middle, and we can see the pages prior and the pages after. In other words, for all the people who came to this page, 43% of them entered the site via this page. 56% of them have visited another page prior to this page, and this is the list of the top 10 pages that they saw prior to clicking into this page. Now after that, we see that 28% of those folks just exited the site completely. This was the last page on the site that they saw. 71% of them went on to a different page, and this is a list of the top 10 pages that they saw after seeing that particular one. The next thing we can do is take a look at the entrance paths. Now this is another dynamic menu here where we start at this page. In other words, we're assuming that everyone starts with this page, and then we want to see where they went. And so I click on the top one here. When people started at the sample size estimation tool, the most common next page they saw was actually the sample size estimation tool. In other words, what this is telling us is that people most commonly run the tool multiple times, which makes sense given that it's a tool. In fact, we see that even after they run it again, the most popular page again is the sample size estimation tool. However, we do see some folks go other places, for example, the PPC ad split testing tool, the conversion marketing tool, etc. As we go down this list, we can see the menu on the right updates when we look at what the next page would be. Another report we can look at would be entrance sources. Entrance sources tells us how folks got to this page and how successful those visits were. Now, the entrance sources report is misleading for some folks. Hopefully we can clear up the confusion. The entrance sources report is showing you the number of page views generated by each source for all visits that started on that page. For example, we look at all the people who came to this page via Twitter. Now, if they came, landed here as their landing page, and then saw 10 more pages on our site, we would have 11 pages counting towards this total. 1 for the original entrance and 10 for every subsequent page viewed on the site after that. Now that doesn't mean they saw this page 11 times. It means that there were 11 pages on the visit that can be attributed to this page as an entrance source. Entrance keywords is the exact same thing, except instead of based on sources, it's based on the keywords that brought folks here. Now this can be incredibly useful in terms of insight into why they came here, right? This is going to tell us what they were looking for. So I can see here the number 2 bringing 99 page views, calculating sample size for tests and marketing. And that's fantastic because that's exactly what this tool does. Now one further check we can do is to check bounce rate and percent exit to make sure that what they came here looking for and what they found on the page actually match as we hope that they would. We can do that checking bounce rate by checking percent exit rate, comparing that to the rest of our site and comparing it to other pages on the site, as well as checking our benchmarking reports to check it against other sites that are similar in our category. Overall, we can gain a much better understanding of how a page is performing and why it is performing the way it is using these reports, and that why is critically important when we think about how to take action to improve those pages.